What do you do in an emergency setback? What do you do when those symptoms come raging back? When that panic rips through your chest and you feel like everything you've been working for, all the food you've been eating, the strict diet, the supplements, everything you've been working towards is all for nothing because you've got this setback. Everything's back to the way it was. What do you do when that happens? And how do you get yourself out of it and back to feeling good again? Hi, I'm Jordan Reesner, and welcome to this episode of SCD Lifestyle TV, where each week we give you one simple actionable step that you can use towards better digestion. And today, I'm talking to you about the emergency reset protocol. And this is the protocol that I used in my life over the years to reset my body after a wicked setback, after a wicked flare-up of symptoms. And if you've ever had one, you know how tremendously intense they can be. You know how emotionally derailing they can be. And you know how they make you want to just quit and give up all the work that you've been putting in to try to heal your body, and all of a sudden you're in a setback. For me, that meant raging diarrhea and fatigue and brain fog would come back out of nowhere. And for days I would be in an emotional, depressed state, wanting to quit, wanting to give up, wondering if I was doing anything right, wondering if I was ever going to get better. But today I'm going to give you 3 simple steps for the emergency reset protocol to get yourself out of that symptom flare-up, to get yourself out of that setback, and back on the path to healing your body and reversing chronic illness. Okay? Now, most important is step 1. And step 1 is to avoid what we call the Google death spiral. Now, if you've ever been in a setback, you know what the Google death spiral is. You freak out, you sit at your computer, and you get in front of Google and you start typing in your symptoms. You start typing in, for me, diarrhea, how to stop diarrhea, chronic diarrhea, what does it mean? And all of a sudden, it's literally like 4 or 5 hours later, you come out of the Google death spiral and you've got a list of really rare and intense symptoms, typically cancer's on that list, and you're extremely depressed and you think that you're going to die, okay? And maybe it's not that extreme, but if you've ever been in a Google death spiral, you know how depressing that pattern of behavior can be. And for me, that was something that used to just throw me for an emotional loop, right? And then for days, I wouldn't be a good husband, I wouldn't be a good father, and for me, that was one of the most detrimental things that I would always do every time I had a setback. So rule number 1, as soon as you have a setback and you begin the emergency reset protocol, avoid the Google death spiral. Do not get on Google. Instead, I want you to use that energy that you want to go do something. You want to fix this. That's where that's coming from. You want to figure out what this is. And instead, I want you to direct that towards your body and just take care of yourself. Give yourself permission to just be sick for a day or two. Give yourself permission to call someone to come watch the kids, or take a day off work and crawl into an Epsom salt bath, or take a nap. I want to give yourself permission to be in this setback, and that it's okay, and it doesn't mean that you're doing anything wrong. Okay, and if you do that, instead of the Google death spiral, I guarantee you that you're going to cut this thing shorter by at least a few days, because you've already started to take care of your body and avoid feeling that fear and that panic that rips through you when you have a setback. All right? Now, number two is I want you to go back to like an emergency reset protocol diet. Okay, I want you to get back on an intro type diet for about 3 days. So if you can get some bone broth, do that. If you can get some chicken soup, get that going. Have someone make it for you if you need to. Get back to the basics. Your body is having a setback. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. It doesn't mean you're never going to get better. It just means that right now you're having a setback, a little flare-up, whether that's from inflammation, from stress, from something you ate, maybe it's a bug, maybe it's that gut infection you haven't treated yet. It doesn't mean anything other than you just need to take care of your body again right now. And to get your symptoms back under control and get back on the path to reversing chronic illness, you need to intervene and just take things back to simple, nutrient-dense, healing anti-inflammatory foods. So get back on the SCD intro diet if you've never done it. Just stick to chicken soup for a few days, stick to some broths, things like that that are going to be nourishing to your gut, calming and anti-inflammatory. They're easy to digest, easy to break down. They're going to provide good nutrients, okay? Keep it simple. Okay, I don't want you to go out and try to eat a bunch of food at a restaurant that's complicated to digest and break down. I want you to just keep it simple and take care of your body. So that's step number 2, all right? Step 3, and this is a really, really important step, is just to know that you will get out of this setback, okay? Don't think about how sick you are today versus a few days ago, okay? I want you to zoom out and think about how far you've come on this mountain climb, okay? Because reversing chronic illness literally is like climbing a mountain. And I live in Montana, I climb mountains, I love it. It feels great to be at the top, and it's such a journey, right? And reversing chronic illness is very similar, and you have to understand that you can't keep focusing on how you've come so far in the last 2 days, and now you're in a setback, right? You need to think about your original journey when you first started, that first step that you took up the mountain. That might have been for you years ago, that might have been for you a few weeks ago, but keep thinking about not, oh my gosh, I'm in a setback, I'm having diarrhea again, or my fatigue's back, or my brain fog's back, or I can't get out of bed, or I'm constipated again, or the reflux is back. Don't think about the fact that it's back from last week. I want you to zoom out and think about how far have you come in the last 6 months? How far have you come in the last year? Are you measurably better than you were then? Okay? And look at this from a high level, because a setback typically lasts 3 to 7 days. And that's the third key principle here. I'm going to say it again. A setback typically lasts 3 to 7 days. And sometimes if it's really, really bad, if it's like a big UC or Crohn's flare-up, it might last a few weeks. But just know this. You will get out of your setback. And the emergency reset protocol is going to help you do that. So have faith in the emergency reset protocol. Know that you're going to get out of this. And keep thinking about, how far have I come in the last 6 months? How far have I come in the last year? Measure your progress towards that. Not this little setback that's literally a blip. It's going to be a few steps on your journey. When you're healthy and you look back at this time, you're going to see how small this little setback was. And I'm telling you this, guys, I've been fighting to reverse my chronic illness for 7 years. I'm the healthiest I've ever been in my life. And I have had umpteen thousands of setbacks, it seems like, in the last 7 years. And I haven't had one in forever. And I got to tell you, I don't really remember those setbacks very much. I don't remember when they were. I don't remember much about them. I will tell you that I do remember the fear and panic and Google death spirals and depression and how emotionally intense those setbacks were. I remember how mad they would make me. But what I don't remember is how long they lasted. I don't remember when they were. I don't remember anything else about them other than it was something that happened to me, and now it's over. And I've gotten through them. And they were very challenging, but I can tell you, if you've had setbacks, it's going to be okay. And if you follow these 3 principles for the emergency reset protocol, you're going to be okay. Okay? Remember, number 1, no Google death spiraling. Instead, just take care of your body. Take a nap, crawl into bed, take the day off work, get into an Epsom salt bath. Just know that it's going to be okay. You're having a setback. It doesn't mean anything new is wrong with you. It's just part of the healing journey. Okay? Number 2, make sure you follow the emergency reset protocol diet. Keep things simple. Stick to that chicken soup. Go back to the intro diet for the SCD diet, okay? Nourishing, nutrient-dense food that's easy to break down, and it's going to be anti-inflammatory and calm things down, all right? And then number 3, remember, the setback's only going to last 3 to 7 days, maybe a little bit longer. You're going to get out of it. You're going to be okay. And it doesn't mean that you've fallen off the wagon. It doesn't mean that you're not going to get through this. Stick with it. The final thing I want to share with you is to always remember that those people who succeeded, those people who got healthy, they weren't smarter than you, they weren't better than you, they weren't different genetically better than you, they weren't anything different than you, other than the fact that the only reason they got healthy is that they never gave up. They never quit, guys. And that's the important take-home point here. If you let a setback allow you to quit and give up and go back to the old ways, then of course you're not going to get better. Of course you're not going to reverse your chronic illness. But if you just never quit, if you just never give up, and you get right back on that horse, and you follow the emergency reset protocol, and you know you're going to be okay, and you keep working towards reversing chronic illness, you will get healthy. You will succeed. It might be a year from now. It might be 2 years from now. It might be 6 months from now. I don't know. I don't know the answer. But what I do know is that if you keep putting one foot in front of the other, you will succeed. This has been Jordan Reesner with another SCD Lifestyle TV episode, where each week we give you one simple, actionable step that you can use towards better digestion, including today's emergency reset protocol. We'll see you again next time.